Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for today's session. It's going to be, as you always know, very informative. But before we get into it, please remember to like, share, subscribe with this video, and as we discuss, don't forget to leave a comment. It helps. Well, on today's session, we are talking about the controversial topic, the one that we all want to know about, the one that every single song on the planet has been written about, and that is love, romantic love. Now, if you've been with us, you have probably noticed that in our soft girl era, we are trying to create a life that is soft everywhere. Not just soft aesthetically, not just soft on Instagram, not just soft on social media, but soft in the life that we live, soft in the relationships that we have, and soft in the way that we carry ourselves. So, last session, we were speaking about our friendships, adult friendships, and what a soft life looks like, and what kind of people we want in our village, in our soft life. Today, we're talking about romantic relationships, the partners that we choose for ourselves. Because there's nothing soft about struggle love. There's nothing soft about hardship. There's nothing soft about crying yourself to bed every night because your partner can't give you the love that you deserve. So let's get started. So the topic of love is one that is very broad, very vague, because we don't all love the same. We don't all experience love the same. So today I'm choosing to focus on the people that love deeply, the people that have given their all and have gotten so hurt that they chose never to love again. And yet, love has somehow started to knock on their door. They've somehow started to wonder what it would be like to give another person a second chance. This session is for you. For the people who overthink every text, who question people's intentions, who struggle to open up, who fear being disappointed again, or those who secretly miss love while also terrified of it. The people who have said, I'm never going to love again, and have started to wonder, what would happen if I did? The thing about heartbreak is that it changes you. And sometimes the hardest thing after being hurt isn't healing from that person. It's believing you can safely love again. You know, not everyone grew up thinking, I can't wait to get heartbroken so that I can hate men and hate women forever and never want to be in love ever again. We all at some point envisioned growing up, meeting the love of our lives, and settling down. Whatever settling down looks like. For some people, it's marriage. For some people, it isn't. For some people, it's children and a picket fence. For some people, it isn't. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we all wanted someone to share our life with. And then we grew up. Then we started meeting people. And those people started hurting us. That's how we got to where we are today. And that's where I want us to start. How we got here. How the pain changed us from who we used to be. How we can learn from past mistakes without becoming emotionally closed off. How we can start rebuilding trust and knowing when it's actually time to open up your heart again. And listen, it's not about forcing love. Please get that. It is about healing enough to stop seeing love as danger. Okay, so let's get started. Heartbreak changes people. Like I said before, we weren't always this skeptical or this afraid of loving and trusting people. At some point, we were naive and open to love. And then heartbreak happened. And it changed us completely. And that's something we may admit or may not admit. But we went from soft to guarded. We went from hopeful to skeptical. We went to being expressive to emotionally unavailable. And sometimes you don't even realize it's happening. Because when the pain happens, your brain starts trying to protect you. Now suddenly you don't trust compliments. All of a sudden, vulnerability feels unsafe. Affection feels suspicious. And consistency feels too good to be true. They're trying too hard. They're pretending to be someone they're not. You start expecting disappointment before happiness even has a chance. And honestly, that makes sense. I know. Because pain teaches you survival. Because here's the problem. If you never heal from what hurt you, you start treating healthy people like they're guilty of someone else's mistakes. And that's where many people get stuck. Not because they don't want love, but because they are trying to avoid the pain at all costs. But love requires emotional risks. Not recklessness, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean ignore red flags. But it does require vulnerability. And healing is learning how to stay wise without becoming emotionally closed off. So, with that, you may be asking yourself, then where is the line? Where is the line between learning from past mistakes or learning from, seeing the red flags and ignoring them to bringing that to the new relationship? Where is the boundary between learning from what happened and letting it control you? And I say, don't let one person define what love is. You get to define what love is. I think one of the most saddest things heartbreak can do is convince people that everybody is the same. One betrayal suddenly becomes nobody's loyal. Love isn't real. Everybody leaves. Everyone cheats. You can't trust anyone. But the truth is, one painful experience should not become your entire belief system. Not everybody is your ex. Not everybody wants to hurt you. Not everybody's coming to waste your time. Sometimes what happened to you was unfortunate, but it was not a prophecy. And yes, you should definitely learn from your mistakes. What you are going to do is take your past relationships and then try and figure out what are the things that I either ignored from the beginning or did not notice, so that for the next time I am better prepared. Do you get that? It didn't say that I can stop loving, but it said for the next time I am better prepared, so I can learn from it. Next time I will notice the red flags earlier. I will communicate better yourself. I will communicate my boundaries better. I will stop ignoring my intuition. I will choose differently. I will stop settling for the bare minimum and calling it potential. That part. That is growth. But growth is different from fear. Some people call it having standards, when really they're emotionally unavailable. Some people say, I just want to protect my peace. Meanwhile, they are avoiding intimacy completely. The trick is to be honest with yourself. Am I protecting myself or am I avoiding? Healing isn't about pretending pain didn't happen. It's about refusing to let the pain harden you permanently. So, how does one learn the lesson without losing the softness? Because sometimes, like they say, life can toughen you up. You can't be living in your soft life era if you are toughened up. This part is very, very important. You are supposed to learn from your heartbreak. You are not supposed to lose yourself because of it. Some of us become hyper-independent, emotionally distant, overly suspicious, or incapable of receiving love. Not because that's who we are. Remember, we didn't start off that way. But it's because it has become a survival skill and survival mode to protect us. Unfortunately, that survival mode is also the reason why we've become isolated. We have to understand that there's a difference between wisdom and bitterness, discernment and fear, boundaries and emotional walls. When you are healing, you say, I have learned what I needed to learn. Whereas someone who's not healed will say, I will never trust anyone again. See the difference between those two people? A healed person says, I have learned what I needed to learn. An unhealed person says, I will never trust anyone again. And if we're being honest, some people are punishing new people for wounds that they did not create under the guise of protecting myself. And this is why healing matters. Not just for you, but for the relationships you want to have in future. Because unresolved pain will always show up in love. So how do you truly know when you have healed or when you are healing? Because it's always a process. One, I always say you stop romanticizing toxic behavior. You are no longer confused by inconsistency and excitement, sparks flying, and all of those things. It does not excite you anymore. You stop chasing people who confuse you. Healthy love starts feeling attractive, slow burning love. You become more emotionally honest. Instead of pretending you don't care, you communicate clearly. You stop begging for the bare minimum. You realize that love should not feel like an emotional survival. You don't start begging people to be there for you. You become peaceful alone. This is the most important part. You know you are ready for the next step when you are happy alone. The next person's job is to come and amplify what you already have rather than give you something that you are lacking. That is the difference. Most people seem to think that relationships mean there's a void in my life that someone else needs to come and fix, which is why whenever someone gives us a drop of something, we become obsessed with it, we become hungry with it. We start turning it into something that it isn't. We start convincing ourselves that the bare minimum is the best that I can do. Why? Because we are empty. Yet if you find ways to fill that void yourself, anyone that comes into our lives just come to supplement. They come to amplify. They come to make it more. That is the difference. So, when is it time to love again? This is the best part. How do you know it's time to give someone another chance? It's definitely not when you're lonely, as I've said. It's not when you're missing attention or you want distraction. It's when you are no longer in need of revenge, to show the other person that the breakup didn't define you. You are capable of finding someone else. As long as it is to do with proving a point to someone else, you are not ready. You are ready only when you have decided, I have moved past everything that has happened. I understand what went wrong in the previous relationships. I know when I ignored red flags. I know what I tolerated. I know when I stayed longer than I should have stayed. And now I am willing to take all of those skills that I have learned, not the toxic behavior, but the skills that I've learned, and use them to help me find someone that I can share my life with. You now understand the patterns. You understand yourself and how you move in relationships. You are willing to communicate honestly. You are able to communicate your emotional boundaries. You are able to communicate how you feel, things that you're willing to tolerate, and what love means to you. You believe honestly that love can be healthy and it is possible. And most importantly, you are willing to walk away from what does not feel right to you. Our biggest problem is that we always want to turn a square peg into a hole when it's not supposed to be. Being ready to love is knowing and being able to recognize what you are looking for and being willing to walk away from what you are not looking for. Because why? Love should feel safe. Love is not confusing. And one thing we have all forgotten in our effort to try and understand, how can I find love? When can I find love? Love feels good. It feels really, really good inside. It's warm and fuzzy, and it is fun, and it is happiness, and it is joy. It is not always trying to figure out, is this person lying to me? Why haven't they called? Why haven't they texted? If they texted at this time, why didn't they? Then it is too much. Love is very intentional. I really, really hope you understand that healthy love is not supposed to confuse you. We have normalized chaos. Healthy love is communication. It's reassurance. It is respect of boundaries. It takes accountability and creates emotional safety. You should not consistently feel anxious, ignored, emotionally unstable, or afraid to express your needs. If you are experiencing inconsistency, just know you are not experiencing love. Those two cannot live together. So start today. Start choosing yourself. Start experiencing your own love. So when you meet someone, you ask yourself this very important question. Is this person bringing me peace? Is this person bringing me love? Is this person here to amplify what is already here? Because if the answer is no, if the answer is this person is here to confuse me, this person is bringing me inconsistency, and more importantly, this person found me in a place of happiness and abundance, and since they came into my life, those things have decreased, then you already have your answer. That is not the love you are looking for. So, let me leave you with this. If you have been hurt before, I just want to remind you of something. Your pain is valid. You didn't imagine it. The fear that you have is understandable, but your heartbreak is not the end of your story. Your story is not the person who was brokenhearted and never loved again. You are still worthy of healthy love. You are still deserving of connection. You are still capable of trusting again. And no, you should not ignore the red flags. You should not give potential to the bare minimum. And you should stop punishing yourself for mishandling your own heart. Healing is not becoming cold. Healing is becoming wiser without losing your ability to love. And one day, you'll meet people who don't make you feel heavy. People who communicate. People who choose you clearly. People who make consistency feel normal. And when that happens, don't let old pain convince you that you don't deserve it. All right, y'all. So you've stuck with me throughout. I really hope this conversation has been worthwhile. If this conversation spoke to you today, I need you to go into the comment section. You know that's where our village is, right? And I want you to type, I am healing, not hiding. And if you know someone who's struggling to trust again after a heartbreak, send them this video. Share it with them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join in the community in our comment section. Because healing, relationships, growth, mental health, soft era, and becoming the healthiest version of ourselves requires safety and assistance from our community. And one parting word, being hurt may have changed you, but it does not have to close your heart forever. Being hurt may have changed how you see the world, but it does not define you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Until the next session, remember, love is waiting for you. Go find it. Love you. Bye.